Alexus Love Beauties. So if you ladies were familiar with the very first videos that we began to speak about how I healed my reoccurring yeast infections, you'll remember that, and that's something that I'll always bring up when I want to introduce you to something, because that is the purpose of me introducing you to the things that I use. And so we know that I stopped like wearing all of the cute panties, all of the panties that created extra moisture, because it also created extra bacteria. And then we found out that tissue contains recycled garbage and bleach to make it smell good, and tissue just has a lot of different bacteria itself. We also did speak about still using tissue when you have to, wipe yourself anally and things of that nature, and even if you have to do it vaginally. But we did speak about wiping yourself, like not necessarily wiping, just patting, because when you wipe, you do leave tissue behind, and that also creates bacteria. If you're not looking down there or making sure of that, then you'll have like extra tissue rolled up in your underwear, or it may still be rolled up down there in your genital area, and that's staying down there all day without you knowing. That also creates bacteria and yeast infections. And so when I started to put 2 and 3 together, that is what I came up with. So the solution for that was for me to begin to do steam baths, use like the feminine wash down there, or like I said, judge yourself, don't judge me, honey, do your research. But also, sometimes use water down there, because we do not have to do so much down there. We have this unrealistic thought about it smelling like flowers and roses, which it can, but all of that comes from the way that you eat. If you're not eating flowers and roses, which you can literally, then you're not going to smell like that. If you're not drinking water, you're not going to smell like water. And so we began this series about like talking about the baby wipes. So we know we've been introduced to the pampered sensitive skin. This is another baby wipe that I wanted to tell you about. I noticed that the pampered sensitive skin, they have went up like $2 in price, and that's fine. I do get these for $1.25. It is not really about the price. It's about the luxury of them not getting me a yeast infection. And so I went in the store one day and they were sold out of the Pampers. And so I tried the Fisher Price. The Fisher Price are very, very, I love them. They're perfect. Like I said, you can use regular feminine washes or regular feminine wipes if you want to. Me personally, I don't really like the feminine wipes. I feel like they're too moist, and then sometimes I feel like they're way too small, and I feel like it do too much. So with the sensitive skin Pampers wipes, they are a little bit more moist than these, and that is okay because it still doesn't irritate me down there. But what I like about these, I have one right here. These are like really, really thin, and they're not that moist. Like, the whole key to keeping a healthy vagina is not for it to just be moist unnecessarily. Like, and that's what I like about these. Like, they do not have a lot of solution at all. Like, as you can see, I'm squeezing it in. This is what I like about this. It's dry. So if you're peeing, why constantly wipe with something that's extra wet? Now it has to dry down there. And to me personally, it just doesn't make sense. So I like these because they're not that moist, they're super thin, and they haven't gave me any vaginal problems, and I love them. So these are my alternative baby wipes when I can't get the Pampers. And so like I said, these are by Fisher Price. It says it contains aloe vera and Charlemagne. Like I said, that has not did anything to me. I've been using these for a few months, so I'm recommending them to you as well. Just like I said, in general, for me personally, I know a lot of people like suffer with like yeast infections and things like that, and instead of us keep going to the doctor getting that medicine, we have to start learning our own bodies and figuring things out. When I say don't judge me, judge yourself, honey, that means that there's going to be some things that I'm going to be, or that I already have been sharing with you all, and it comes from personal experience. But if you don't have personal experience, then you can't really teach someone something. And so when I say don't judge me, judge yourself, honey, because people come like, she said this and she said that, that's going to be on you, because you're going to be talking about me, but you're still not trying to figure out where you're having multiple recurring yeast infections. So these are some things that helps me. And if you're having multiple recurring yeast infections, And this is just the purpose of the internal and external beauty. This is the purpose of our channel right here. That's why I say for mature audience or whatever of that nature, because it's from the inside out. So you have to begin to do research. Just because I'm telling you this helped me, it may not help you. You may be the other way around. You can use tissue. I cannot use tissue like that, and especially expensive tissue, or expensive, really expensive doesn't mean anything but more chemicals to me in some things. And so when it comes to expensive feminine care down there, it's more better for me to go like sensitive, like baby, like oatmeal and wipes and things like that, because the Charmin tissue and the tissue that got the 50 extra layers, those things like that break me out. So like I said, it's all personal preference. If you're going through reoccurring yeast infections and bacteria vaginosis and you just keep going to the doctor, and yet that medicine is healing it, there is something else that you have to look into. It may be that tissue, it may be the wipes, it may be the way that you're eating, it may be the things that you're wearing. Maybe you're wearing too many thongs, and I introduced us to cotton thongs. Maybe it's the way that you're wiping. Like I said, we've all been taught to wipe from the front back. That didn't work for me, like I said. So, I mean, people have to, don't judge me, judge yourself, honey. You have to do your research. And, if you can't wipe front to back because it's leaving tissue, or you're wiping too hard down there, you're breaking it out, you're irritating, then I would recommend to, get a baby wipe, or if you use tissue and just pat it in the front. We do so much down there, and we're so rough down there, and that is not how that is supposed to be taken care of. That is one of the most gentle external organs that we do have, and we're supposed to be taking care of it just like that. So wiping all hard from the back and then just pushing everything back, it doesn't make sense. And then if you're not cleaning that back area, then I don't know how that would make sense for me, and that's personal. So for me, it helped to, whichever area I'm going. If we're in the back, okay, we're cleaning up back there. If we're in the front, okay, we're cleaning up there. And we're not going to be wiping anything all extra hard. We're just going to be, patting it, right? And it's going to get the job done. So Alexus loves you. Like I always say, I'm gonna quit saying that because I know I'm coming from a good place. I know that I'm not being disrespectful or anything. And sometimes you just have to say things how it needs to be said, or people will not get the message. Because I'll be like, oh, no disrespect, I ain't trying to be mean. You'll know if someone is speaking to you from love, or someone is trying to be funny and do all of those things. But over here on this channel, we speak about internal and external beauty. So some things might get a little nasty. Some things might get a little rough. It might be some things that you never heard. But in reality, Alexus Love always encourage you to do your own research on your own personal body. Nobody can tell you how your body is made and how your body should do this or what it needs. So I'm just simply encouraging natural beauty, hygiene tips that has helped me. Alexus loves you. Mwah.